Good morning and welcome to the Christmas episode of Daybreak. I'm your host, Veronica Buccilli.
And I'm your jolly old man, Trevor Sheets. Today on Daybreak, we'll be updating you with the latest tech news.
Informing you on the ups and downs in sports.
And what's happening all around the world.
All that and more. Daybreak starts now.
All right, well, it is kind of the holiday season in terms of temperatures. It's been pretty cold the last few days, and I think it's probably going to stay that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, I actually think it's supposed to drop, but it is December in Pittsburgh, so what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it going to get colder in the temperature like I thought it's going to, Aaron? Tell us more.
So we're going to start off Monday morning with a chance of rain, but it will stay in the mid-30s, so hopefully that will stay as rain. So you might need to grab more than a jean jacket, maybe a down jacket, something else. Moving on to the 7-day forecast. So we're going to start off Monday with 35, but the whole entire week is going to stay in the mid to upper 30s, so it's going to feel horrible the entire week. But towards the end of the week, hopefully we can eventually get to something a little bit better. So we can always just hope for the best. Now back to you guys at the couch.
All right, well, like you said, December in Pittsburgh.
Exactly. It's cold, might snow, might rain, anything in between. It's the way it is. You have to accept it.
I've accepted it.
But let's see what's happening in the world of sports with Phil Papore. Phil?
Thanks, guys. So now we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they enter this weekend fresh off a 24-14 victory over the New York Giants. The Giants entered the game riding a 6-game winning streak, but there's just something about the Steelers and winning in December. According to Steelers PR media manager Dom Rinelli, after Sunday's win, the Steelers officially own the most home wins in the month of December since 2001 of any team in the NFL at 30 victories. The Steelers will look to keep that streak up Sunday in a 1 o'clock game in Buffalo. Now, the Boston Red Sox, they made the biggest move of the baseball winter meetings so far in getting the highly sought-after left-handed pitcher, Chris Sale from the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox traded their ace for a package that included 4 of the Red Sox best prospects, including 21-year-old power hitter Yoan Moncada. This is the beginning of a team rebuilding for the White Sox, and it shows that the Red Sox are going all in for a World Series title this year. And after a long season, the college football playoff is finally set. As expected, Alabama is the #1 seed, while the next 3 spots went to Clemson, Ohio State, and Washington. Many fans across the Keystone State had hoped the Penn State's come-from-behind win over Wisconsin in the Big Ten Championship would be enough to propel the Nittany Lions into the 4th spot, but Washington's win in the Pac-12 Championship did just enough to guarantee the Huskies a spot in the playoff. That's all I have for sports, but let's toss it back to Trevor and Veronica, back at the couch for Campus News.
Thanks, Phil. Wiz Khalifa's manager spoke to students on Wednesday in the Center for Media Innovation. Will Zombach, Pittsburgh native, spoke to Point Park students for nearly an hour before welcoming questions. According to the Globe, Zombach's appearance on campus was possible thanks to Mark Fritzges, Vice President of Promotion for Atlantic Records and part-time SAEM instructor.
Point Park students traveled to the winter baseball meetings in D.C. this past week. The sports, arts, and entertainment marketing students interviewed dozens of other students of the School of Communication, but they only sent a handful of individuals to the meetings. The winter meetings are a prime opportunity to network, interview, and scope out related job prospects.
Point Park Student Activities Board hosted a Get Stretched and Unstretched event on Wednesday, an attempt to lower students' stress during the final week of the semester. In the Student Center, there was yoga and Zumba and a chance to win a free massage.
Nothing like a little reunion. Current and former Conservatory of Performing Arts students met up in New York City for Pittsburgh on Broadway. According to Point Park University, the reunion was organized by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Steeltown Entertainment Project for Pittsburgh's On Broadway, a Post-Gazette Sunday magazine feature about the Pittsburgh connections who have worked or are working in show business in New York City. Alumni have landed roles in shows like Kinky Boots, Jersey Boys, Wicked, Hamilton, and many more. That's it for Campus News. Coming up after the break, we have news around the world and around town.
That and more here on Daybreak.
We are a social people. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
All right, guys, any questions on scripts? We good to go?
Yep, right. Should be good.
All right, great. All right, yeah, camera 3 set up right there. Camera 2. All right. Use the ball when you're moving this around, but set up for the 2 shot just right there. Weather, how we doing?
It gon' rain.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Sarah Mackin with the real host, Adrian Dillon, with Team Snuggle Up.
All right, prompter. We got everything in. We're good to go? Key Pro, everything loaded. We're good to go? All right. Tyler, any questions?
That shot looks fine.
3, 2, 1. Bring up camera 2. Open mics. Cue talent.
Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm Blaine King.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Aubrey Henkin.
And I'm Aaron Myler,
And this is Entertainment on Point.
Beyonce has surprised us again.
Kanye West just tweeted,
"This was a huge weekend at the box office.
A fan favorite TV show just got canceled. Guess what band is coming to the city? And the award went to...
But did you see her engagement ring?
Her outfit was awful.
I would fire her stylist.
Tune in for all of your Hollywood gossip and pop culture news.
Entertainment on Point.
Get to the point of pop culture.
yeah!
Welcome back to Daybreak, and here's your city news. Every December, a larger number of Pittsburghers decide to run into the Ohio River, all for a good cause. On Saturday, December 10th, Pittsburgh held its annual polar plunge on the north side near Heinz Field. Participants all ran into the Allegheny River between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. There were many different ways people could participate in the polar plunge, including the super plunge, which is comprised of a group of people who jump into the ice-cold water 24 times in a 12-hour time span. Additionally, for those who preferred to stay warm and dry, they could sign up for the 2 Chicken to Plunge, which gave access to all the events for a donation of at least $50. All money raised by the plunge goes towards the Special Olympics.
Last Tuesday, the Pittsburgh City Council took steps toward ending the bias against women in this city. Legislation was passed by a unanimous vote to create the Gender Equity Commission. The purpose of the commission is to discourage gender discrimination across the city government. The legislation falls in line with the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Details of the plan include a citywide analysis of gender discrimination and some assistance on ways to address any issues in departments throughout the city government. City Councilwoman Natalia Rudiak was the one to introduce the legislation and hopes that the additional benefits can include analysis of serious problems women face, including sexual harassment, rape, and assault.
A plan to build a new Walmart out in McCandless Township has finally come to an end. On Wednesday, Walmart announced that they no longer intended to build a new store in the North Hills area. Walmart released a statement saying, quote, "We were happy to be able to purchase newly available property along Blazier Drive in McCandless. We look forward to communication with neighboring property owners and McCandless area reps to determine how we can best use the property to make a positive contribution to McCandless," end quote. Legal challenges and petitions from residents in the area had halted any progress. The property used to hold the old Showcase North Cinema.
Students at a local high school did not have to wait to go to bed to avoid being bitten by bed bugs. The Pittsburgh Creative and Performing Arts School, located in downtown Pittsburgh, had to spray the insecticide throughout the building after a bed bug was discovered in the school on Wednesday. According to the principal of Pittsburgh CAPA, Melissa Perlman, they do not anticipate a bed bug infestation in the school. The infected area was cleaned with Ecovia oil, insecticide, and after a thorough inspection of the school was conducted, classes resumed as normal on Thursday morning. Now to take a look at what's going on across the country, let's go over to Chloe Bendis at the Daybreak News Desk. Chloe?
Thanks, Veronica. Last Wednesday marked the 75th anniversary of the Japanese attack of Pearl Harbor. Several veterans, although in smaller numbers, who survived the 1941 bombings, visited the ceremony at the Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam in Hawaii. Admiral Harry B. Harris told a gathering there that, quote, "Remember Pearl Harbor, keep America alert, and eternal vigilance is the price of liberty," end quote. Pearl Harbor jumped the U.S. into World War II, with the U.S. ending the war 4 years later with the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe will visit the memorial with President Obama later this month, being the first Japanese leader to do so. Police charged 2 juveniles in an East Tennessee wildfire that killed 14 people and destroyed or damaged over 2,400 buildings near the Great Smoky Mountains on Wednesday. They face aggravated arson charges for the fire, which during drought conditions hit winds exceeding 87 miles per hour early last week. Officials have yet to release how exactly the 2 started the fire. The miners are currently being held in the Sevier Country Juvenile Detention Center. The world's tallest mammal may be facing a silent extinction as populations have plummeted. According to the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, giraffes have gone from about 150,000 in 1985 to 97,000 in 2015. The animal decline resulted from habitat loss, poaching, and civil unrest in parts of Africa. But scientists pointed out that there are different species of giraffes, and despite the lowering numbers, the giraffe population is continuing to grow in places such as South Africa. Researchers say some local populations may not survive, but others will. And the Michigan vote recount is over. U.S. District Judge Mark Goldsworth ordered to stop the recount after a state court ruled that Green Party candidate Jill Stein had no legal standing to request it in the first place. The court said Stein didn't even have a chance of winning, even with a recount, as she finished 4th with about 30,000 votes. About 20 of the 83 Michigan counties were recounting before it was stopped. This ruling ensures Donald Trump Michigan's 16 electoral votes. There's everything you need to know. Now let's go back to our 2 stars over at the couch, Veronica and Trevor.
Thanks, Chloe. After the break, we have some very special guests.
That's right, Veronica. We're talking with Chase and the Barons from Pioneer Records.
See what's new here on Daybreak.
Here on the Pioneer sideline, we talk a lot about sports in the studio, but it's beforehand when the conversation is actually interesting.
I hope I have enough powder on. I don't want to be too shiny on camera.
No, Trevor, I think it looks good every week you pull it off.
Ah, thanks, Phil. Man, your hair looks great tonight, by the way.
You sure? Yeah, I mean, I got a new haircut, but it looks all right.
Hey, guys. Does this make me look fat? No, you look great.
You look good. Yeah, Kyle.
Thanks, I was really...
Sports! Yeah!
Ever wanted to be behind the mic and have the world listening to your show on campus? Well, it's just as simple as joining WPPJ, Point Park's student-run radio station, located on the 2nd floor of Lawrence Hall, right next to the dining services. Listeners can tune in using Point Park's website or through the TuneIn app by searching WPPJ. WPPJ welcomes any new DJs that want to get involved, so be heard. Do you have what it takes?
Well, no one showed up to the show tonight. Follow my lead. In 3, 2, take 2, open mics, cue talent. Good evening and welcome to UView News. I'm Josh Krupp. We begin with breaking news out of West Penn Hall. Ready, 3, take lower 3rd. Traffic is backed up in the West Penn elevator line after elevator 1 broke down on the 7th floor. Lose lower 3rd. Maintenance advises students to take the stairs to avoid delays. Ready, 2, take 2. In other news, no, you know what? I didn't sign up for this. We need crew. Join UView. Take alien hand transition.
Here in studio.
Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Great. Yeah, good to be here.
Good.
alive.
So I have to ask, how in the world did you get the name Chasing the Barons?
I didn't name the band.
All right, so we're really creative individuals, and we're like, wow, we're really good at naming things. Chase's name is Chase Barron. He's the singer. How about just Chasing the Barons? We'll be the Barons. We'll spell it differently to be cool.
Yeah, we subtracted one R because my name is Baron, B-A-R-R-O-N. You subtract an R, you have B-A-R-O-N. A baron used to be a figure of prominence in royal families and such, so I figured that suited us.
Nice.
Hey, that works, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, yeah, it's simple, but it had a little bit of a play on something. That's cool.
Yeah.
And you guys did a performance recently. Was it Rocktoberfest, correct?
We actually, there was a change of lineup. Robin Hood and His Merry Men played that show.
Oh,
They look a lot like us. They just covered the Shrek soundtrack. They were wearing tights. It was really awesome. But yeah, the Rocktoberfest show seemed to be a great success for Robin Hood and His Merry Men.
Yeah.
And what performance did you guys do recently? What was your most recent performance?
We played last night at the Boulevard, which is a bar up in Shaler.
Nice.
And then, like, biggest, like, loud shows, we played at the Maxi Pad in Oakland, which is like a basement.
Yeah, an
punk
absurdly
rock
named
venue.
basement.
Yeah.
Maybe edited out and named basement.
I mean, it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Are you guys dropping anything new?
We hope so.
Yeah, coming in spring. Point Park, actually, since we've been signed to Pioneer Records, they've helped us fund, well, entirely funded, this EP that we're coming out with in the spring called Verbally Speaking. It's probably going to have 4 songs on it, so we're excited.
Explain what an EP is for those who don't know.
Extended play. So singles are like a thing, you know, and an EP is just basically like taking a single and then adding a couple more to it, so you get a little bit more bang for your buck, but it's not a full-length album yet.
Nice.
And then let's talk about Pioneer Records a little bit. I know they've come out with Hannah LaPisca a couple of years ago, as well as John Rushlander last year. Just talk about like what it's like to be able to deal with Point Park and that dynamic of things.
Yeah, it's a really cool dynamic. We work together as a group. All decisions are collaborated on. It's really nice to have a team that support us.
It's kind of neat too, because like we haven't had any guidance outside of the band up until this point. So, like if we come up with an idea, we have someone to run it by, and it's not like we're shutting down any ideas or anything, and it's like kind of like an equal playing field. But we like collaboratively get to the best solution to issues and things like that.
I agree with what they said.
I'm sorry, I was giving you a chance to talk because you've been awfully quiet. He was the quiet one in the group, I guess.
Agree with what they said.
What he said.
Jake Rieger's feeling a little under the weather.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, I just want to know, what is your favorite song that you guys perform, and when can we see you do it next?
All right.
I mean, you can start, Chase.
I can start. We're all going to have different favorite songs
Right,
that we
of
like to
course.
perform.
I hope so.
My current favorite song that we play is actually a cover song by the Talking Heads, Psycho Killer. I think that we are a pretty on point Talking Heads cover band. And the next time that you can hear us play that is going to be at Musicalidades, which is this event that our Rhythm documentary, don't know if you've heard of it, but Gabriel Colombo, cinema graduate, is having a big, awesome event to fund his documentary on the 17th. Look it up on Facebook.
December 17th?
Yes.
On Facebook. And what's the Facebook event called?
It's called Musicalidades.
Musicalidades.
It's going to be hard to spell. Just look for Our Rhythm documentary.
Our Rhythm documentary. Got it. Well, we'll be sure to check that out. Absolutely, for sure. And
guys?
Well, I'd have to say, while the Talking Heads cover is a good one, we just wrote a new one couple days ago, which has already gone into my favorites to play. What is it? Say Yeah is the...
I think it's called A Day Off, brackets,
yeah,
in my treehouse.
But it's about a treehouse and hanging out in a treehouse. So it just instantly went to my top 1.
got it.
The best song.
So, yeah.
I guess like my favorite song right now to play is Moon Drunk, just because it has a drum solo in the middle of it, sort of. And when we get to play it like in a loud atmosphere, I get to really beat the snot out of them, and that's what I like to do. So I guess like, that's the most fun live.
Last but not least?
Well, speaking of Jake beating the snot out of things, my favorite one would probably have to be Rule the World, at the end of which we kind of go crazy and Jake kind of does his thing, so that's a fun one to end the show with.
Nice. Well, I hope to get the chance to come see you guys play all of those favorite songs. And do you want to tell them where they can check you out?
Yeah, check us out on Facebook. You can find links to everything. We have our own website. It's chasingthebarons.wordpress.com, but we're going to buy that soon. So.
Well, thank you guys for coming very much. We appreciate it.
All right, and who's making noise in the entertainment world?
All this here on Daybreak.
People. We share our inspiration, wisdom, creations, and memories. We share what makes us laugh and what angers us. Built on the notion of a free flow of ideas, our country thrives on the freedom of speech. Without it, who would watch over our governing powers? And how would we share our history to make a difference for the future? It's this freedom to share that gives us a reason to listen.
All right, guys, any questions on scripts? We good to go?
Yep, right. Should be good.
All right, great. All right, yeah, camera 3 set up right there. Camera 2, use the ball when you're moving this around, but set up for the 2 shots just right there. Weather, how we doing?
It gon' rain.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Sarah McNair with you. The real host, Adrian Billon, was seen snuggled up against.
All right, prompter, we got everything in, we're good to go? Key Pro, everything loaded, we're good to go? All right, Tyler, any questions?
That shot looks fine.
3, 2, 1. Bring up camera 2. Open mics. Cue talent.
Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm Blaine King.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Aubrey Henkin.
And I'm Aaron Myler.
And this is Entertainment on Point.
Beyonce has surprised us again.
Kanye West just tweeted,
This was a huge weekend at the box office.
A fan favorite TV show just got canceled. Guess what band is coming to the city? And the award went to...
But did you see her engagement ring?
Her outfit was awful. I would fire her stylist.
Tune in for all of your Hollywood gossip and pop culture news.
Entertainment on Point.
Get into the point of pop culture.
yeah! Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Ashley Corradini, and here's your tech news. For over a year, New York-based Translux, which makes LCD and LED displays, has contemplated relocating its Chinese facilities to the U.S. It makes economic sense, said J.M. Allen, president and CEO of Translux, which also makes the huge digital screens that run the tickers at the New York Stock Exchange. To cut costs, the company exported much of its production 2 decades ago to Shenzhen in Southeast China, a manufacturing hub for electronics. But as China's economy developed, conducting business there has become increasingly expensive for foreign firms. But in the final run-up to the election, as Trump beefed up his tough talk on protecting domestic manufacturing at all costs, Allen considered making a change much sooner. Trump has also said he would charge a hefty 35% tax on businesses that move production overseas and sell products in the U.S. Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley is used to seeing bewildered expressions when she mentions self-driving vehicles. At neighborhood meetings this fall, Whaley made a habit of bringing up autonomous vehicles and the huge changes they would bring to Ohio. No one ever asked Whaley follow-up questions, they just stared in silence. Ohio has the nation's second highest concentration of truck drivers, over 70,000, and long-haul jobs are widely seen to be on the chopping block, as autonomous vehicles emerge. Last week, Ohio Governor John Kasich announced a $15 million investment to turn a 35-mile stretch of a state highway into testing ground for autonomous vehicles. Taxpayer dollars will fund research that threatens one of the 5 most common jobs in the state. The technology, isn't perfect yet and remains unproven on conditions like snow and ice. That's it for your tech news. Let's go over to Aubrey Henkin on entertainment. Aubrey.
Thanks, Ashley. There might be some drama around the Kardashian dinner table this holiday season. Back in May, Blac Chyna, who's engaged to Rob Kardashian, filed an application with the United States Patent and Trademark Office to trademark her to-be-married name, Angela Renee Kardashian. If the request is granted, Blac Chyna would have full access to using the well-known name for advertising and promotional purposes. But the Kardashian companies aren't too thrilled about this possible outcome. Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe's companies have filed papers against the trademark request, saying that their companies will suffer damages to their reputation and goodwill. They're also saying that Blac Chyna is deliberately seeking to profit off of the popularity of the Kardashian name. Ouch. However, according to E! News, a source close to the family says that their company's trademark attorneys automatically oppose anyone that tries to claim the Kardashian name. So the three sisters probably weren't even aware of the situation. The source also added that everyone loves each other and that this decision is just business. As of now, Blac Chyna hasn't commented on the filing against her request, but she has until January 10th to respond, and the case could even end up going to trial. David Beckham's son, Cruz, has a hidden talent that doesn't involve a soccer ball. The 11-year-old is a singer in the making, and a good one at that. Earlier this week, Cruz officially released his first single called If Every Day Was Christmas, which features cute and romantic lyrics about the holiday and has a pop feel to it. Not only is this his first official song ever, but all of the proceeds from his single is going to Global's Make Some Noise Foundation, which helps various charities around the UK. Cruz's singing career started back in April when Victoria Beckham shared a video of her son singing Faith Evans' song Hope. As soon as that video was released, fans went crazy and started calling him the new Justin Bieber, saying that the lyrics, his voice, and the music itself is very reminiscent of 16-year-old Justin when he first started out. The outburst got the attention of manager Scooter Braun, who is responsible for discovering the Biebs himself. As of now, the catchy Christmas song is only on radio in England, but we're sure that it'll hit the States soon enough. It's no doubt that his superstar parents are very excited about their son's single, and with the help of his newly signed manager and the success of his new song, he'll be a pop star in no time. That's all I have for you this week. Let's go back to the dynamic Daybreak duo, Trevor and Veronica.
Thanks, Aubrey. After the break, we visit Chasing the Barons again for a surely terrific performance.
Daybreak brings you only the best, so stay tuned.
Here on the Pioneer Sideline, we talk a lot about sports in the studio, but it's beforehand when the conversation is actually interesting.
I hope I have enough powder on. I don't want to be too shiny on camera.
No, Trevor, I think it looks good every week you pull it off.
Ah, thanks, Phil. Man, your hair looks great tonight, by the way.
You sure? Yeah, I mean, I got a new haircut, but it looks alright.
Hey, guys. Does this make me look fat? No, you look great.
You look good. Yeah, Kyle.
Thanks, I was really...
Sports! Yeah!
Ever wanted to be behind the mic and have the world listening to your show on campus? Well, it's just as simple as joining WPPJ, Point Park's student-run radio station, located on the second floor of Lawrence Hall, right next to the dining services. Listeners can tune in using Point Park's website or through the TuneIn app by searching WPPJ. WPPJ welcomes any new DJs that want to get involved, so be heard. Do you have what it takes?
Well, no one showed up to the show tonight. Follow my lead. In 3, 2, take 2, open mics, cue talent. Good evening and welcome to UView News. I'm Josh Krupp. We begin with breaking news out of West Penn Hall. Ready, 3, take lower third. Traffic is backed up in the West Penn elevator line after elevator 1 broke down on the 7th floor. Lose lower third. Maintenance advises students to take the stairs to avoid delays. Ready, 2, take 2. In other news, no, you know what? I didn't sign up for this. We need crew. Join UView. Take alien hand transition.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Chasing the Barons return to put their talents on display.
What will you be performing for us today?
We're going to be doing a song off of our upcoming EP that we're making with Pioneer Records called The Contender.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to hearing it. Take it away.
Stuck in the middle of this place, no expression on my face, a familiar sounding phrase. I am pulling at the veil, wonder what it might avail, while my palms are turning pale. I will rinse them in the well flooded with wishes, where the quarters swim like fishes. This explicit narcissism is submissively suspicious. I said this is quite illogical. I say quite impossible. I don't think I'll ever know what's going on, but here we are going over again. The same old cracks in the fresh pavement. Here we are going over again. The contender will always contend. There's a serpent at my feet, and he's tempting me to eat from a tree that's next to me. Let the lions take control while the prophets just get old and the poets turn to prose. Take a handy shot. This is quite illogical, I'd say, quite impossible. I don't think I'll ever know what's going on. Here we are going over again. The same old cracks in the fresh pavement. Here we are going over again. The contender will always contend.
What was that song called again?
That song's called The Contender. It's going to be on our EP coming out in the spring.
Great. And what song are you going to play for us next?
We decided we're going to do a cover, something that people actually know. So this is an old Violent Femme song, Blister in the Sun.
Cool.
Sing along.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. We really appreciate it.
That's it for Daybreak. Make sure to join us again next week for the news you need. I'm Veronica Bucilli.
And I'm Trevor Sheets here on Daybreak, hoping your news is good news. And Jason Abrahams, take us out.
When I'm out walking, I strut my stuff, yeah, and I'm so strung out. High as a kite, I just might stop to check you out. Let me go on, like I blister in the sun. Let me go on, big hands, I know you're the one. Body beats, I stain my sheets, I don't even know why. My girlfriend, she's at the end, she is starting to cry. Let me go on, like I blister in the sun. Let me go on, big hands, I know.